Hey YouTube, how y'all? All right, are y'all hit to this story yet? Hey, this Diana Ross. Is it her birthday or is this about Diana Ross concert? Certainly, Diana Ross concert in Hollywood, and this dude named Dame Dash. Now I'm not familiar with him because he's a record company executive, I guess. Big guy in music, but we don't hear about those guys. We hear about the people who are out in front of the camera, really. Although we do have some knowledge of Lee Daniels. He's had a string of successes. But I got to tell you, that scene that I just saw, and I'll link it down in the description. Man, that took me back. This is a scene I saw a lot in the streets. And I know it took Lee Daniels back as well. People getting in debt to the wrong folk. All right. It seemed, if I was watching that scene, this could be a throwback to Lee Daniels' drug days, where he done got a huge amount of dope and ain't paid this crazy ass man the money, and this man wants his money and he wants it now. To take your shoes off now, motherfucker, so you won't run, kind of thing. That's what it felt like. Lee Daniels being extremely passive. Although I imagine that's the same thing would happen if they were even in private. Lee Daniels don't want to tangle with this man. Obviously, this man is he's angry. He got good call to be angry. He wants his money. I used to be amazed how people could do that, though. There was never any millions involved, but I was getting situations like that all the time. People would tell you all this stuff. They would take your merchandise, and they just not pay you, and they just walk by you on the street like you have forgotten all about your money. That's what I found out. Sometimes I had to do business with gangsters. Do not take nothing from them guys. We could be friends, sincere friends, as long as you didn't get no money from them. Do not fuck with these people's money. I don't know what Lee Daniels was thinking that he thought he could take $2 million. This is not when Lee Daniels was a star now. This is when Lee Daniels would be a struggling artist. I assume it hasn't all come out yet, but somebody who on the come up, maybe he's got some great projects. He had Precious in the works. I think he had already done a couple of things already. So he had convinced this man that it'd be worth him investing $2 million, and he'd get his money back in a few months. The tape is kind of, I mean, they're yelling over Diana Ross is on stage singing or introducing her next song, and we just catch them screaming in the crowd, right? So I can get the exact details, but either a month or several months later, he would get his $2 million back. Now, we're talking about 10 years. So, unless this man is awful, sweet, and nice, Tyler Perry owes him a lot more. I mean, Lee Daniels owes him a lot more than $2 million. Because you gave somebody $2 million 10 years ago. There's interest. That's why they loan you the money. I mean, he is a businessman, right? So if this thing has to end up in court, he's going to have to give up a whole lot more than $2 million, that's for sure, just in interest alone. Not to mention the pain and suffering this guy's going to claim. And rightfully so. So, anyway, am I jumping all over the place? All right, so this guy, Dame, he confronts him at this concert. He's loud and aggressive. I was thinking, though, when I was watching, it's very uncomfortable to watch because it just reminded me of a dope fiend that then fucked off the money, And I'm sure that's what it reminds Lee Daniels of. And I'm sure he would like to bury that damn tape into oblivion some damn where. Or wish he could have purchased it off whoever filmed it. Because he seems so passive. But this guy is demanding his money. He's yelling. He wants a scene. He said, tell these people. So Daniel's going to have to pay him. He's going to have to, if he only wants $2 million, that's the deal. If you borrowed $2 million 10 years ago, and all this man wants is $2 million back, that's the deal. You just jump on that, Lee Daniels. I know how it is to get in debt. We all know about it. I mean, we're all going to judge Lee Daniels, but we've all gotten credit for stuff, and then when we default on the credit, we don't want to pay the people back. It's just basically the same thing. But you took the loan from the wrong people. That's all. And you talking numbers in the millions of dollars. So I guess the story's gonna have to develop a little bit more. We got to find out. But I didn't change the way I look at Lee Daniels. I think this is a person doing business. He probably took the money that he made off one project and put it into the next project. Took that money and put it into another project. Plus, got more mortgages or whatever. So he's using the money as he gets it, and he's not prioritizing what he owes. We know how that feels. We know how it is to go and get a new car. Well, we finally making some good money. We want to go out and get a new car, but we don't think about that old student loan, shall we say, student that you ain't paid. You got to pay your debts. It hurts. It's painful, but you got to pay the people. Listen, my finances. Well, it ain't even like. Not only is it not like the millions of dollars, it ain't even like hundreds of dollars most of the time. But I don't give a damn what my finances are. I get my money. I pay my debts, my bills. Now I cringe sometimes, particularly with these people like Comcast, which I can't figure out why I keep using them. But I still know I've learned the hard way. I've got to pay my debts. Got to pay those bills. And this is a bill. This is something he owed. He probably thinking that's ancient history. I've got this project going. I got this project going. I got all this stuff going now. And he don't want to. What was that man? The man called it. Dame said that's working capital. I understand what he's saying. $2 million cash, hell, he can use that for all of his projects. He got dreams and things he want to accomplish as well with his own money. Now I don't know why he gave this man this money. I guess before Precious, Tyler Perry did have. I mean, God damn, I keep mixing those two together. There's two gay men in the news today, shall we say? Well, one gay and one allegedly. We'll get to the other story in another video, but I did want to kind of jump on this one. So I'll be watching this story here. I think Lee Daniels. Now I'm a writer, so I always say, "Oh, what if somebody gets Lee my book? What if someday I have to do business with him? Like it's gonna happen." But my books are very good books. My books are called Love and Gospel Music, 4-book series, Lee Daniels. So let me not come hard on you in case you want to consider me someday and you got to look back and say, oh, you were talking shit about my little situation. You ain't getting shit, nigga. All right. So that's the scene. The scene is very uncomfortable, very hard to watch. But that's how people come up stinking behind other people's money. Okay? Particularly when you're making money. Now, it's one thing, somebody done borrow some money from you, even your own relative borrows some money from you, and they doing bad, whatever. You feel like, okay, I helped them out. You ain't really tripping. But when that same relative is coming by you, sporting Rolexes and things, and, trapping new BMWs and shit, that guess what? You want your money as well, right? So I'm not a hater of Lee Daniels. I admire that man a lot. I hope he works this thing out. I think that if all he wants is $2 million, that's what the man kept emphasizing. He wants his $2 million. If all he wants is $2 million, after 10 years, he wants no interest, pay him. Pay him, get it over with. It may sting. You may have to sell something, pawn something, get rid of something. But you need to pay that man his $2 million before you end up in court and it ends up being $10 million. Could happen. You've defrauded him. You've even admitted that you defrauded him now on tape, on video. So I don't know if Dame had him film it so that it could leak it, or it was just somebody in the audience with their camera phone. Anything can be filmed these days, but that scene was weird, strange. So that's it. Lee Daniels, pay the man what you owe him. If you can get away with just paying back $2 million, no interest for 10 years, jump on it. Do it. Make it happen. And make this thing go away before it gets to be some big, you know how the internet is now. Every social media, things get big. People start talking about it. Now your reputation is soiled. Better off pay this dude, get it over with, let it go. You can even take a for extra a few thousand, you take a picture with him shaking hands. All right. In a few minutes, I'll try to post this link in here, and we'll follow the story.